Hey y'all, so this video is a little different. I want to talk about why I stopped being plant-based. Now, I'm going to make this the short version. I'm the type of person, when I tell a story, I give every single detail and it makes the story very long and I lose track of what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna hop right on into it. In 2016, I decided that I was going to be dairy free and I was very successful. So that's how my journey started. 2016, I was dairy free. 2017, I started introducing, in the beginning of 2017, I started introducing myself to things I never had, like couscous, lentils, quinoa, and I stopped eating beef. I have been stopped eating pork. I limited how much chicken I ate and turkey, and I was mostly eating vegetables and beans. Now, I wasn't completely plant-based in the beginning of 2017, but by the end of 2017, I was plant-based. I remember in 2018, I read 3 books. I read The China Study. I read this book right here, Eat Right for Your Blood Type. Here's China Study. This is China Study. I think I read that in 2017 too. And this book. This was the book that changed the game for me right here. Vegetation Over Medication by Dr. Bobby J. Price. Very life-changing book for me. When I read this book right here, Eat Right for Your Blood Type, it really, it resonated. It was something about it that kind of like scared me. And I remember closing that book and I'm like, nope. I'm not going to follow what they say. Eat right for your blood type. They were saying eat beef if you had blood type O and all this. And by this time, I was already kind of like going down that path of like veganism, spirituality, just all of that. A lot of things that I was taught growing up, I started just believing my own things. So this book just didn't resonate with me. It resonated with me, but I was scared. So this is when I read Vegetation Over Medication, and this book right here solidified my plant-based journey. So 2018, like I said, that was the mark of the first official year of being plant-based. The reason I'm doing this video is because I saw a post saying that the trend of being plant-based is officially over, and it kind of made me feel some type of way. And I had to ask myself, Alexis, if you know that this doesn't apply to you, why do you feel triggered by it? And the reason I feel triggered by it, because I was so dedicated to being plant-based. Even towards the end of my journey, and I knew that that lifestyle was no longer for me, I still tried so hard for plant-based to work for me. But I knew it was something changing within my body. I saw the difference with like how my body looked. I was very puffy, very inflamed, and I didn't understand why. I just started feeling the difference in my body, seeing the difference in my body. I was just looking very, very inflamed, very, very puffy. So I remember I kind of like I was telling myself, this is 2023. I decided to do a watermelon fast. This was, I believe, in May. I did a watermelon fast for 2 weeks maybe. I think it was 2 weeks. It was 14 days. It started off as a strict 1-day water fast, and then the remaining days, the 13 days, it was a watermelon fast. After the watermelon fast, I did 1 plant-based meal a day, with the rest being watermelon and only water. And I think I did that for about 20 days, and I only lost 13 pounds. The reason I was doing it was to lose weight. I was doing this to lose weight. I was trying to reset my body, you know, just reset my body and do everything to try to lose weight, because it just wasn't adding up. As clean as I ate, and me just eating plants only, no processed vegan food, probably I would say like 10% processed vegan food, and that would be very, very clean tortillas, like the almond flour tortillas. That would be, and the like chickpea pasta, like the chickpea pasta, banza. But the only ingredient with that pasta was chickpea flour. So I ate really clean. I made my own meats, cheeses, milks, sauces, salad dressings from scratch. I was the person on TikTok where people was getting recipes from. Like, all of my videos about eating plant-based went viral, every single one of them. I was making my own juices from scratch. So it just wasn't adding up why I felt so tired. I was so fatigued, so much brain fog, and my body was just, I felt puffy, I felt inflamed. Now, my whole entire journey being plant-based, I didn't feel like this, but I started feeling like this maybe at the end of 2021 going into 2022. I just started feeling really different. And my husband, he was plant-based too. He was feeling the same way. We was taking supplements and everything, but it just seemed like it wasn't enough. So it was time for me to stop being delusional, because I'm looking at my lab results and I'm just lying to myself saying that this isn't true. Girl, I was delusional, okay? I know I needed help. And even though I had the knowledge, I wasn't applying it because I was too stuck on being plant-based. All the years of being taught how important it is and the mentorship that I received, it was no other way. I didn't see anything else but plant-based. So I decided to hire help. I hired a doctor that specializes in metabolic health, and she just confirmed what I already saw with my lab results. My insulin levels were so high, and I knew this. My insulin was very high. Long story short, my insulin was very high, and this is why I was not able to lose the weight. To make a long story short, I wanted plant-based to work for me. I would have still been plant-based to this day. I enjoyed their lifestyle. But with having PCOS, eating foods like almonds, oats, beans, lentils, cashews, quinoa, they are very high in carbs. And here I am making meals that has like a bed of quinoa with some roasted chickpeas on top, with some cashew cheese on top, sauteed bell peppers and onion, which isn't a problem, but I'm eating this like 2-3 times a day. For breakfast, I'm making chickpea omelets. If I make some type of veggie pizza, my crust is chickpea. Girl, let me tell y'all the real kicker. I decided to get a food sensitivity and food allergy test. I hadn't gotten one in years. How about everything? Almost, I'm gonna say about 92% of everything I was allergic to was the foods I had been eating. Almonds, cashews, quinoa, avocado. Girl, almost everything that I had been eating for years, I was allergic. This is why my body was so inflamed. And I really think if it wasn't for me taking herbs like I was, I probably would have been in an even worse condition. This is when I went back to this book right here. I went back to this book, and girl, let me just say, I cried. Everything made sense. So the post that I seen about people treating plant-based as a trend, it really triggered me because I was so deep into it. I loved that lifestyle. There are still things that I did when I was plant-based I still apply to this day. Yeah. Let me tell you, my insulin dropped about 15 points when I started back eating meat. For breakfast, I used to eat fresh fruit or smoothies that was filled with fruit, and all of that was not ideal for my body. Now, my belief is that the first few years of being plant-based, it was really good for me because it was giving my body a break from so many animal products. And, you know, at the time prior to now, like, you know, growing up, you eat a lot of the processed meats, and you eat meat like throughout the day, like for breakfast, lunch, and dinner and stuff like that. So when I started back eating meat, it taught me that, okay, the meat isn't the problem. It's the quality of meat, and it's how much meat we're consuming within a day. So I started doing my research, and I started shopping with a local butcher. But I found out that the butcher I was getting my meat from, first of all, it was very pricey. It was very pricey, which I didn't mind, but it was only grass fed. It wasn't grass finished. I had to learn the difference between something being grass fed and grass finished. This is when I got into Butcher Box. I have been with Butcher Box for, I think, over 2 years at this point, and this is the best quality meat that I found when it comes to beef. Now, chicken is a whole nother story, and I really cannot, it is so complicated. Trying to explain how chicken is raised is girl, it is very complicated to explain how chicken is. It has like these different groups and all of that. Anywho, I don't even want to get into it. Like I said, I be getting off subject, so let me just stop. I think everybody should try plant-based. See how it works for you. It was really good for me when I first started. So this is not a knock at plant-based. This was my lifestyle. This was like a religion to me. This is something I believed in so deeply until I found out that it wasn't for me. Until the blindfold was lifted from my eyes. I had to hire a specialist to knock me upside the head and be like, girl, this is not working for you. This is not the lifestyle for you. It's not working anymore. You are going to continue dealing with metabolic issues if you do not change. And that was my wake-up call. I mourned it. I was so good at creating so many plant-based recipes. And I still have a lot of the recipes on my TikTok, on my Instagram. I was so good at being plant-based. And the beautiful thing about it is that I can still apply some of the things to my life. Not a lot because I'm allergic. For example, almonds, I'm allergic, okay? When I got my food sensitivity and food allergy test in 2023, I followed it to the T. But over time, I stopped being so strict with it. Now, there are some things that I just simply stay away from and I keep very, very limited. And when you do a food sensitivity and a food allergy test, it's going to tell you how severe you are to it. Like if it's moderate, mild, it's going to recommend how often you should eat it, how long to take breaks. So the food sensitivity and food allergy test gave me all that information. Girl, I'm allergic to watermelon. And I never, and remember I did the 13-day watermelon fast? I could never understand why when I would, and it wasn't every time, but sometime when I would consume watermelon, my throat would feel I can't explain it, tight. And here's the thing, not everything that we are allergic to, not everything that we have a sensitivity to comes out in the form of chest tightness or hives. It can come out like you getting fatigue, you getting bloated, you being constipated. Those can be signs that you have a sensitivity or allergy to a food. Sometimes I ask myself, will I ever revisit being plant-based? And at first, the answer to that was no. But recently, I've been like, yes, I would be open to being plant-based again, not long-term, but definitely again. This time, I would just apply what I know. I know the things that I have a sensitivity and an allergy to, and I will avoid those foods. Don't let my story discourage you, okay? Don't let my story discourage you. Please try plant-based. If you're thinking about it, try it. You know, I'm just at a point now where I believe in just the most important thing is consuming whole foods. And even when I got my food sensitivity and food allergy test, I remember that I was kind of going down this same path that I was going with plant-based. I was being super, super strict to the point it was stressing me out. Because I was trying to avoid all of these foods that I had a sensitivity and an allergy to. So now I'm in a point where it's like, girl, you taking your blood filtering herbs. You're taking things to support your liver, your kidneys, your lymphatic system. You're fine. I'm aware of what I have sensitivities and allergy to. And I'm not going to treat that as have a restricted lifestyle. So I just listen to my body, I pay attention, and I just try to make sure I do every single thing with balance. Now, I can say that since I'm no longer plant-based, it really opened my mind up and just made me find the beauty in every single thing. I truly believe in duality. When I was getting into herbalism and I was like doing these courses and reading books and all this type of stuff, I remember seeing integrated medicine. And basically it's when you combine, you know, herbalism with modern medicine. And I just remember being so prideful at the time. This was like, what, 7 years ago? I remember feeling so prideful and was like, nope, all we need is herbs. All we need is herbs. There is absolutely nothing wrong with combining modern medicine if needed. If needed. Now, there are certain things that you can just really, really reverse if you factor in herbalism, lifestyle changes, and nutrition. Okay? But if you are like super sickly, sometimes you need something that's gonna work a little faster. Okay? And there is nothing wrong with needing that support. I'm also to a point now where it's like, okay, I'm aware of, you know, the consumerism around holidays and the truth behind a lot of holidays and how they have nothing to do with what we think. Like, I'm aware of all those things, but I also am in a place now in my life where it's like I can celebrate holidays with my family. Like, it's centered around family to me. So it really kind of just opened my eyes and made me a better, well-rounded person. And I just see the beauty in everything, and I just appreciate so many things in life. I hope you enjoyed this video. I didn't intend for it to be this long. I do vlogs, so if there's something that you're interested in, please subscribe. And I hope you like this video. If you made it to the end, please give me a green heart. I hope that y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. Peace.